Where's my echo? There it goes. All right, I'm good. Good morning. So I had a little echo going on. Welcome to the morning hookup. Go Hooks. Kayla YZ in the house.
I think Elijah will join us soon.
He will. Am I still echoing? Is it me? I'm good.
We should be good. I muted it. So
All right. I muted this thing too. I was watching some stuff this morning, doing a little pre-show information gathering of stuff we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk. Your coordinators spoke yesterday. See how they responded to, we'll call it Coach Rule's call out criticism, question mark. So how they responded. Dannon spoke. He had some interesting stuff to talk about on his monthly Sports Nightly show.
Yes, he did.
So we'll go through that. Also, I found something really unique about college basketball. This is an interesting time in college basketball.
Yeah.
Izzo not happy. I'm a big Izzo fan.
Well, not to do some foreshadowing here, but can you call it college basketball?
No.
Exactly.
No, not with this thing. There's a rule or a way. The landscape is completely changed with this.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know this was even a thing.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. Izzo not happy either. He has a quote in there that talks about job and things like that. And I think, oh boy, it's such it hits the nail on the head when you talk about probably being a college coach anywhere right now.
I mean, I was going to say, I think a lot of coaches won't be happy about this.
No, just college coach in general.
Yeah.
This quote, he says, Henry T. Buchanan, join us in the second hour, Husker legend.
Going to talk hoops with him.
Yeah, he's going to be excited. We have to like rare the Kool-Aid back because he's going to be like flowing. I don't know how much Kool-Aid he can make with that performance that he watched. Stories that we missed. Also, by the way, thanks for hanging out. Good morning, Ryan 840. You notice I have a stocking cap on today.
I was going to bring it up.
I'm going to tell you, you're going to hear me complain about it more than I am a cold wimp.
Oh, I am too.
Cold wimp. I am.
I was going to leave the house today. I had just like a crew neck on, and then I looked outside, and I was like, you can just tell when it's cold outside. I didn't even check the weather app or anything, go on my phone or nothing. I was like, yeah, it's going to be chilly out there. So I threw another layer on because
I had to talk to management in my house. I call her management with certain things.
Yeah.
She's management.
Yeah.
And we have contrasting body temperatures. She runs hot all the time. I run cold.
Yeah.
I had to put a ticket in with the management a couple of days ago just to turn the heat on. It was finally approved yesterday afternoon. I woke up like 2 mornings ago. I'm pretty sure the thermostat said like 61 in the house.
Okay, that's too cold.
But she's like getting up with like no big deal.
Oh,
like I get scared to get out of bed that cold because I have to run into the bathroom.
See, my manager.
Managers. We call them managers. They are game managers.
I love a cold room.
Yeah, like I'm down with that.
When I go to sleep, I like to have my fan going. I like it to be cold in there, and then I wrap up with like 3 blankets, and it's super nice and toasty in there.
Yeah.
But when it's cold outside, that's
like it's good enough.
Yeah. Exactly. She's like she wants it hot in the room. She's like, "Can you turn the fan off? It's too cold in here."
You're like, woman.
Yeah.
Woman. Right, 840. My manager hasn't turned on the heat yet. I know you got to put a ticket in. You got to request it.
Maintenance got to come by.
I laugh about it. She's listening, and we're laughing about it. But I text my buddy this morning. First of all, I was probably looked like I don't know. I was pumping gas this morning with a stocking cap on. I had a lot of people looking at me around here.
As you're shivering?
Yeah, I'm shivering. He said he broke out the slippers. My slippers are by my chair now. And then he said that he hasn't turned the heat on. He refuses to turn the heat on. He said, we'll see what the boss says when she gets home. Everybody has a boss or a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to put the tickets in to make sure they get it done. And when the request went through, she was the one that went around to the thermostat. There's 2. There's one up and whatever. And she sets it on a schedule. She was the one that had to set the heat schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I left out like this morning. I'm sure she left probably with like a T-shirt on and shorts.
No, absolutely not. It's chilly out there.
Joyce said 2 things. Manager part is beyond true. If you say they aren't, they are lying. Right for it, not true. Oh, yeah, the chicken queen makes the rules. Yeah, she does. I just live in that when I abide by them. That's all. So that's why I'm cold.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get to learn this, too, when you start sitting. If over here at this time, you're going to be the warmest spot in the building.
Oh, really?
Over here, I will be hoodie weather. It'll be colder in this room than it will be outside over time.
Yeah, because it got unbearable a little bit sometimes in the summer. It was like literally the tropical rainforest over here sometimes. But, I mean, it won't be that bad in the winter, I guess, if I'm a little warmer.
You're going to be good over there.
All right.
See, even good morning, Todd. Todd says, feels like a kid. Feel like a kid again when Dad says, don't touch the thermostats. Yeah, managers don't like that stuff. I will tell you a little secret. Probably you've seen this in the restaurants before. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I was deceptive or manipulative. I used to manage restaurants as well. But I used to, on a regular basis, maybe most nights, you'd have somebody go, hey, you know, it's kind of cold in here. Do you mind turning it up? Sure. Not going to lie to you. I'm not sure I've ever turned a thermostat up. We used to have lock boxes on them. I would go over, unlock them, and do like this and put it back on and come back over 5 minutes. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
never turn them up or down.
It's clockwork.
It was deceptive.
You see that?
Sorry.
You see that all the
I'm
time.
outing myself now.
Oh,
I lied.
It happens in more restaurants than you would think.
You go there, you unlock it. Do it. Yeah.
Is that better for you?
Feels so good. Thank you. Thank you for taking that time.
There's a lot of things like that happen in the customer service industry. I remember one time I was back in my college days, I was working at Dunkin' Donuts, and somebody didn't like the taste of their iced coffee.
Oh, yeah.
So they brought it back in, and they're like, can you remake this for me?
Sure.
So I took it behind the counter, acted like I was making a new one, handed them the same exact drink that they handed me, and then they took a drink. They're like, oh, that is so much better. Thank you. It's just a placebo effect of things like
it is. Look at us outing ourselves in the business, outing ourselves. Do you think that's what the coordinator said yesterday? They thought when Coach Rule said that about him, he said, thank you. Thank you for letting us know that we weren't very good, that we need to change.
Pretty much.
I felt like it hit home with him. Now, again, coach speak, good talk.
Yeah.
Especially, I think, on the defensive side when he called it the approach vanilla, very vanilla, a generic term. He said, I think he's referencing the fact I didn't call the game as aggressively as I planned. We started off pretty strong on the first 2 drives, got in a decent rhythm, and then all of a sudden that 71-yard run came.
And that raised my eyebrow a little bit.
I'm telling you right now, me too, because that one run changed the mentality of how your defensive coordinator called plays.
And that can't.
He got scared.
That can't happen.
He went into a shell.
Yeah.
Now, again, he's really good. Again, I think as a fan, you go, whoa, wait a minute. Because he said every play has its own life. So what's going to happen on the next play isn't about what's happened on the previous play. I'm going to stick to the plan and say, regardless of what happened on the previous play, we still got to approach the game with aggressive mentality. It was a learning experience for all of us. I don't disagree with Matt. Be who you're going to be. Be who you're going to be.
There's parts of that you can take away as positive, but yeah, when he brought up that comment about one play derailing his game plan, you're a Division I defensive coordinator, man. There you have to, like he even said, every play has its own life, and you can't let one play affect you like that. And he's right about how, early in the game they had a good game plan and they were flying around and they were in the backfield making plays, making tackles. And then you let one play derail everything.
I referenced that a lot. And again, not just like his mentality changed, but like you practice something all week long in a game plan.
Yeah.
And then you change it or don't follow it. And this is in life too. Okay. This is your kids. This is like whatever. You all of a sudden don't do that. And there's confusion. Why aren't we attacking anymore?
Yeah.
Why are we laying back? Whatever the case is. They always tell me to put my shoes away. All of a sudden today, they're not going to, I don't have to put my shoes away today.
Well, this actually leads me into something good. I I grabbed some audio from a clip from Nick Saban
Ooh, okay.
from a press conference or like a presentation that he did or something. And I think it really is something that Nebraska players would need to hear this week. I have 2 audios here. I believe it's either this one or this one.
Yep.
I use the example all the time. Is I asked the players one time, who is the #1 horror guy that you know in all these horror films that you see? Unanimous, man, Freddy Krueger. Why? Keeps coming back. You can't kill the sucker. He keeps coming back. You can't kill him. And he never shows in his eye that you're getting the best of him. So whether you get beat on the play or you don't get it, you come back and you dominate the guy the next play. And you do it with an intensity and a toughness and an effort that the guy can't sustain and match for 60 minutes in the game.
Woo! That's a good reference. Just be who you are. Just be your identity. And again, I appreciate the fact that he accepted it. He learned a lesson. It's a lesson to be had in everything you do. Every walk of life, there's lessons.
Yep.
To me, it was just the one run that knocked everything off kilter. Candid responses. Can't take that away from him. Dana spoke as well. And boy, all that offense is centered around the sack and pressure problem. That's just where we're at with that. The sack and pressure problem. And he pretty much it's everywhere. It's everywhere. He talked about the receivers have to run faster, get to their spots. The O line has to protect. Dylan's got to be comfortable in the pocket. There were times when there weren't sacks, but there were hurries because he wasn't comfortable in the pocket. It's an overall operation.
Yep. It's
everybody shares in this.
Everything. Yep.
Everybody shares in this. And I think people forget in times about the receiver part. We always look at the O-line. They got to do this, do that. But the receivers got to get to their spots too. I think that's part of what Dylan, some of his issues with holding onto the ball is being pressured so quick that he's trying to drag it out to see if a play develops.
Absolutely.
That's also a learning lesson for him. When it's not there, it's not there.
And I think it's also a learning lesson for Dana to maybe do some, and I think he said this, some things that are quicker to get the ball out of his hands faster. There's ways you can combat pressure, but it also does come down to the players. The players do have to play better. Like you said, it's a whole operation. There's the coach, and then there's the players. Everybody has to be better. It's as simple as that.
You also look at I like what you're saying. He goes, what's more? Again, Dana's on this path to where he's taking the blame.
Yep.
Well, not the blame, but in part of it, of what's going on. I've got to get in better plays that are quicker. Better plays that move the pocket. Better plays with quicker routes. Better just create something.
Because as a quarterback, you can see it in Dylan. He's a little skittish back there. And when you're under constant pressure like that, even when they don't get pressure, you're just thinking about it, and you're a little bit, you're a little bit antsy in the pocket and move around. Even if you have a clean pocket, you might step up a little too early and run yourself into a sack. And you see a lot of that just because there's plays being drug out, and you're used to feeling the pressure, and then boom, you find yourself on the ground again. And that's not the offensive line's fault.
I like Butler's comment because I think that this whole thing, this Minnesota game hits the core of Nebraska in a whole, because we've talked about physicality, trenches. It's what Nebraska used to be here, quote, used to be.
Right.
Physical, trenches. Nebraska over time now has got hit in the mouth and fell apart. They just have. Dana says it's college football, man. People have games like this, but how you respond.
Yeah.
But not respond like this. Nebraska's got to find a way when it's like this, when they go here, get it to here and keep it.
Yeah, because it's like when we're up and we're up high and we're 5-1 and top 25 in the nation, and everybody's looking at Nebraska like, watch out, Nebraska might be back. They don't perform, and they don't exceed their expectations. And then when they're at the bottom and it's back against the wall and we need to fight for our lives, and all this and that. They come out and they show you, and that's the roller coaster you're talking about.
Yes, championship level consistency.
Yes, it doesn't matter who your opponent is. You come out and you execute the same way you did against Houston Christian and Akron, and
I reverence. It's like some of the guys I play golf with. They play. I call it boring golf. Over 18 holes, they'll shoot 2 over par 3, whatever. But it's like, you made a bunch of par. That's boring. But guess what?
consistent.
Never like my game.
Yeah.
Be here. Oh, I gotta get it back up.
Yeah.
Championship level consistency is what you're looking for. I mean, I think a lot of fans are going to go to this game on Saturday hoping for a response.
Yeah.
Not feeling like they're going to see a response. It's hoping for a response. You're hoping that, I hate the word, this was a wake-up call.
Yeah.
At 5-1 going to Minnesota, should be no wake-up calls.
Shouldn't.
Because Northwestern will come in here pretty dang hungry.
I think this is it's weird to say that a game versus Northwestern is a big point in time for the program, but it could be a big turning point because it changes your season a little bit with, you have USC next week. Like if you don't get this one and then you go 5-3 and into USC, that's a lot different than going 6-2 into USC. It puts you in a different standings in the Big Ten. It puts you in different, talks around the country. This is a big. It's weird to say, but Northwestern's a big game this weekend.
Oh, it's huge when you look ahead. It's huge from the response, and it's huge when you look ahead at your rest of your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I think posing the question is Nebraska football as a whole. And we're going to get to what Dan said because it's very interesting about the rebuild conversation. Nebraska football currently is still in the middle of an identity crisis.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's a total identity crisis. Because you talk about these teams like Minnesota, they know who they are, who they want to be. Northwestern has been that way for years. Even when they had Pat Fitzgerald, they continue to be who they are and what they are.
This is very true.
There are those level teams. Wisconsin down right now, but they always knew who they wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
They never steered away from it. Nebraska over the last, 15 years, 10 years, let's go 10, don't know who they want to be. Or they act like they want to be somebody, but they don't ever do it.
Mm.
My concern.
You're absolutely right. Iowa.
That no doubt.
That is one of the biggest examples of that right there. They are
no doubt.
They're the same.
People
team.
make fun of them, but guess what?
They get it done.
Give them credit. They get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Their quarterback might have opened his dang mouth too much yesterday, but that's something for later on. We'll talk about that later on. Ryan 840, you are making me giggle, man. New relationship statuses. New relationship single A manager wanted 2-month relationship. AA 1 year AAA marriage is the bigs for management. That's funny. He said, yeah, unfortunately, I got a seasoned big league manager of 10 years. What does that make my status? My manager is like, I don't even know, 25 plus now.
She's almost going in the Hall of Fame.
Woo! I gave up. I didn't give up. I gave in. There's no fighting. So, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, let's continue the conversation about the Nebraska football identity crisis. And Troy Dannon spoke. I think this all funnels together and where we're at and where we're going. Let's talk about that and a whole lot more when we return. That is definitely status. Holy crap, what is going on here? Check your email for important updates. There's important updates from baseball. Yeah, right before she is definitely a Hall of Fame manager. Troy question, jokes aside, what if we had put in Latif, who can run against Minnesota's pass rush, give Rillo a chance to catch his breath and see it? I don't know how to quite answer that one because it's a weird world that we live in. I don't want to talk about it from the NIL perspective, the optic perspective. Everybody likes the backup conversation. I mean, we have tape for him against Akron and Houston Christian.
I want to make it known that we have a fantastic quarterback.
We do. Yes.
And we have seen when things are clicking, how talented this offense can be.
Mm-hmm.
And just when there's bumps in the road and like it's not consistent, like, yeah, things aren't going to look pretty. But like Dylan is still the guy.
Oh, geez. You have helmet fitting coming up.
Oh boy. I don't need to be there for that. So.
Oh, it says, oh my gosh.
I already got my hat. I got everything, so I think we're good.
Scar tissue that I wish you saw. Sarcastic Mr. Know It All. Close your eyes.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Happy hump day. I can't even read all this stuff. It's too early to be reading all this stuff. Nobody wants to talk baseball. Maybe Friday night they do.
It's supposed to be the off season.
I told you that. I mean, there's like updates coming in. Like I've been fending off this baseball talk. I mean, my boys right now just working out a lot and they're hitting. You can hit if you want to. Not throwing right now. I mean, there's speed and agility classes for your kids.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
The fan gear and team store is open. You need a new hoodie. Spirit gear.
I got a hat. I'm good. Helmet
fittings are next Wednesday. If you opted in to get new helmets. Which it looks like you got. What are you, 14s?
Mm-hmm.
14 black?
I always forget if we're black or gold.
Is it a top dog group?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're black.
Well,
14 black, it says in here.
Well, there's a 14.
What's the last name of the coach?
Arciaga.
Yeah, you're in here. 5:30 next Wednesday, please. Will you show up for your helmet fitting?
I don't need to be there for
Just
that.
letting you know.
I don't wear a helmet.
Also, the fundraisers are coming up November 1st to the December the 1st for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mark your calendar. You have uniform fittings coming up November 17th to the 22nd. Just let you know. Okay, you got it?
Yep.
You gotta love baseball. Gotta love baseball.
God, that gives me flashbacks of last year when our uniforms came in and getting everybody's equipment to them, and it's just a whole mess.
It's a yucky conversation already.
Whole mess.
Yucky. Hi, Elijah.
Howdy. My mic on? Is this thing on?
It is now.
It's good to see you. Let me get plugged in here.
It's good to be seen.
I can actually hear you guys.
I'm yelling loud.
There we go. I'm plugged in now.
Elijah Hurdle in the house on the morning hookup. Perfect timing to be here.
Why is
we were
that?
just talking about the coordinator talk yesterday. But I brought up the question because I think Troy Dannon kind of talked about this a little bit. My question was, as you look at this, you look at the Minnesota game, we started talking about teams who know who they are over the history of time. Nebraska is still in an identity crisis after 10 years. We talk about Minnesota's always been Minnesota with Fleck. Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald, even today's date, they know who they are. There's one really up the road from us that has always been that way, Iowa.
Well, yeah, it's just you're just listing off the Big Ten West. Nebraska was a lost team
in a division of football teams that knew exactly who they were and weren't going to change up who they were until, Wisconsin brings in Fickle, which is another kind of
Wisconsin until now.
You're not looking at a team
Wisconsin's
that knows what they are up in Wisconsin right now.
Yes.
But Minnesota, they're still playing Big Ten West football. The team you're playing this week at Northwestern, they're still playing Big Ten West football. It's a good point. It's well taken that.
It's just that
what is Nebraska's identity?
We don't know. I mean, again, you go up to a Minnesota team that you talked about, and I hate to be, to belittle a point, but I'm looking at the coordinators as they talk yesterday, and you don't continue to know who you are. I think the comment from Butler yesterday threw both of us off a little bit, saying after the 71-yard run, he kind of got
spooked.
Wait a minute. I'm like, whoa. Not that it's just something that we get to take out of context or in context or whatever. But I think it goes along with what Dannon said a little bit yesterday when he talks about being in year 3 of the rebuild and the fans are in year 15 of a rebuild.
And I also wonder, I was thinking about this last night. I had a conversation with my roommate Darren about this. How much bringing in a 5-star quarterback, this shiny object to be the face of your program, the face of your rebuild, how much that actually changed the rebuild? Because we were talking so much in year 1, the offseason after, about the lines of scrimmage, and this is a line of scrimmage program. We're going to run the football. You saw that in the first year. I mean, Heinrich Harburg, God bless him, he couldn't run the football that well.
No,
he couldn't throw the football that well. Like that was what Nebraska was building into. And then you bring in this 5-star quarterback, and what do you go after in the transfer portal this year? Wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in 2 offensive linemen, but you're going after wide receivers, changing up that room. Like I just wonder if that if the addition of Ryle kind of threw a wrench into the rebuild of what you wanted your team identity to be, and now you're still kind of stuck in between this. Well, in year 1, bringing an offensive lineman, we want to be an offensive line program, run the ball, and then you bring in Ryle, and it kind of changed how you wanted to build.
I agree with that. I agree. That escalated. And then you go with all the parts that are, behind it, who his dad was, who his uncle is. Like you add all that together. It almost feels like bringing a former player to be a head coach pressure within it.
A little bit. Yeah.
But it brought up the point when you hear Dan talk about, I know fans have been doing this for 15 years. We're in year 3 of Coach Rule and the changeover and the identity crisis that we continue to go through. Because you're playing teams, like I said, the old Big Ten West, that are just know who they are when they step on the field, no matter what. They don't change who they are. And as bad as you want to talk about them, I was that model in Wisconsin with those models of, I don't care. Laugh at us. This is who we're going to be no matter what. Can Nebraska find that? Can they find that? And again, I'm not saying it's going to be Saturday. The biggest thing on Saturday for me will be what the response is. Dana said, it's college football. We're going to have games like this. It's about how you respond. Because I think Nebraska fans are walking in Saturday going, I hope we respond.
Well, the question,
I hope, because Coach Rule said if we don't, I can boo.
Well, and to steal a quote from our good friend Marco D'Angelo's on Thursday, the question to me this week was that a game where Nebraska was just feeling fat and sassy, or they just think, we can march in here. It's Minnesota. Not that they didn't come out with enough effort, but did they take it seriously for a full week of practice, watching Minnesota film and seeing what they have been so far this year? Was that a fat and sassy performance, or is that a performance where PJ Fleck and Minnesota's coaching staff just identified every single issue that you have on your football team this year and took advantage of everything? And every single team now remaining on your schedule can look at the Minnesota game plan and say, well, that's going to be our game plan until they know how to fix it. That's like, was it just a bad night at the office when you're feeling fat and sassy, or is there now a blueprint out on how to beat this Nebraska team? We'll have a much better idea come Saturday.
Well, another Marco D'Angelo quote coming up on Saturday. You can lose the game. You can lose the same game twice.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like we've talked about Northwestern, they're going to do a lot of the same things Minnesota does. Not from a game plan wise, but just how they play and how they are stylistically.
It's a Big Ten West team.
Exactly. So, if you're Nebraska, you can't go out there and play. Obviously, you can't go out there and play the same way you did Friday, but there has to be a lot of changes.
And it's crazy because it's this is emotional a lot for a lot of people, because it is the ebbs and flows. And I think Coach Elko down at A&M spoke about it a little bit yesterday about his name's popping up. And even Dannon spoke about it, about social media and texts and emails and things like that, because it's emotional. It's that where it's all of a sudden, like a week ago, Coach Rule, they were like, we got to pay this guy a ton of money to stay at Nebraska. Elko said that the other day too. Three weeks ago, they wanted to fire him at A&M.
Yeah.
Flip-flop the weeks, you get beat, and all of a sudden, we're all emotional with it. We're very emotional, which is who we are as people. Oh, Coach Rule this and Coach Rule that, and Dylan this, Dylan that, and our coordinators and this and that. And Elko down at A&M's like, now my name's at every job.
They're number 4 in the country.
And then it's also hard, I think, to sit here from a holistic optics to look at Indiana. How quick, because that's an outlier. Like Dana called it an outlier, but that is hard to look at when a guy walks in from being a winner at different places, James Madison, and flipping it in 2 years.
Well, it's one of the reasons why we're already seeing so much craziness in this upcoming coaching carousel. It's because folks are looking at Indiana and saying, well, we have NIL resources too. Why can't we do that?
Yeah, why? We got a ton of cash.
We got a ton of, man, they went and brought in the talent that they needed. Right talent valuation, man. Just we're the right coach away from being in the college football playoff next year. That's what people are looking at, as opposed to looking at it as an outlier, I think. And it is an absolute outlier.
It is, but it's hard to compare. I mean,
and you can look
it's hard not to compare currently based on the fact that you're like, you have to, I think people in their minds go, all right, I've done it. You're in Nebraska. You have to have more money than Indiana. Why has it not been that quick?
Well,
because it happens. They're number 2 in the country, and they look maybe like it could arguably be the best team in the country right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Indiana's the shining example. It's not just Indiana. Kenny Dillingham turned Arizona State around pretty damn quick.
Yep. I mean, there's a couple of teams playing with the big boys right now
that you wouldn't have expected.
Not at all.
And I mean,
and by the way, both those teams have done it this year again. You got Indiana, they go out and beat Oregon, and then you got Arizona State upsetting Texas Tech, who looked to be like, everybody was crowning Texas Tech with all their money as the Big 12 champion. They said not so fast.
I think people also need to look at like Vandy. Clark Lee, year 1, 0-8 in the SEC and 2-10 overall. There are going to be jobs that just need to be a slow build. Vandy in year 3 with Clark Lee, it was 2-10, 0-8 in the conference. Yep. Then he brings in the right guy in the transfer portal with Pavia, gets a little juice. Who's that tight end? Stowers.
Yep.
He's great as well. Like you bring in a couple culture changers, and then it's 7-6, and now 6-1 so far this season. So there is still the slow build example, but it turned quick once you got the right guys in the portal, and that's what teams are seeing. Hey, bring in the right coach, brings in the right guys in the portal, and we can get this thing turned around quick. And you look at Billy Napier, and you say, man, why does he not have the resources to succeed? And then you answer the question. He does have the resources to succeed. He can't get it done. So they're going, okay, let's move on. Let's find the right guy. Look at Penn State. They're going to lose some of their roster this year through attrition, but bringing the right coach, that brings in the right transfer portal guys, you can get that thing turned around quick as well. That's what colleges are looking at right now. Is that the builds can be quick.
There's examples, but I think there's more examples of the patient rebuilds than there are any of the quick ones, the fast ones. But that's what our society and our world wants: instant gratification. And it probably no more hungry fan base than the one we're sitting in.
It's very true.
We're sitting in the most, I don't want to call it impatient. They're just ready to burst at the seams for a winner.
And I feel like the fan base is kind of on a razor's edge right now of last Friday morning, you were sitting here ready to be like bought back in on Nebraska. I was talking to folks last week, like, man, I haven't felt like this with the Husker football team since Bo Pelini was the coach.
Well, we sat here and talked about slaying demons and like, oh boy, the path to success to, man, you go, if you're 7-1 walking into USC in the blackout, 6:30 at night now. Imagine after that one. Imagine the path you can see. Right now you're going.
Well, I'm been getting texts this week. Hey, is Nebraska going to win another game this year?
I'm telling you feel like you're back to where you were last year a little bit. In my opinion, as a fan, I'm sitting here as a fan now going, we're 5-2. Let's look at this. If we don't beat Northwestern, I think a lot of people are doing this. Where does that win come from?
Because you're looking
because
at
you're not feeling like you're going to hit like last year. If you didn't all right, we got Wisconsin. Woo! Thank gosh. Because right now you're going Northwestern. USC is going to come here ready to go. They're athletic. They're a good football team. what's the mentality of Nebraska if they were to get here? Then you got to go to Penn State. Athletes still good. Again, their coach is gone, yes, but still got stud athletes. UCLA playing good football. They're 3-0 since all that went down, and they cleaned the locker rooms up now. And then you got I'm just it's being transparent because you feel like it was last year. Because if we hadn't beaten Wisconsin last year when we got them, when the getting was right, you're staring 5-7, not even going to 5-6, no bowl game.
And if you
5-7, no bowl game.
If you can't get it done against Northwestern, that's the evidence to me that the book is out on how to beat Nebraska. And Northwestern has all the pieces. If Minnesota set the game plan for every remaining team on the schedule to beat Nebraska, which that's what we saw last year. Whenever Nebraska was in their slide, it was because the book was out on how to slow down and stop Nebraska's offense. That's why you go make a coordinator change.
There's a lot of similarities in what we saw last week to this week.
Yeah, if the book is out on how to beat Nebraska, Nebraska can't get done against Northwestern, you do sit here and go, I don't know if there's another win on this schedule. Because every other team, barring maybe USC, but even then, they're going to probably pull out a similar game plan. We'll see how it works. Should be able to go and execute the Minnesota game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Every remaining team on your schedule, which is get after Dillon, whether it be with 3, 4, or bring in extra rushers. Mm-hmm. Get after him, press Nebraska's wide receivers at the line of scrimmage, and run that zone play right at the tackle. And see if Nebraska can get in the right run fits, and just know that, hey, at some point it's going to pop for 70.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing.
Just be patient.
That Butler said
it's going to happen.
It's one thing Butler said yesterday is it's the same run play that's been beating him. that 70-yarder from Darius Taylor is the same run play that Minnesota busted for 2 long touchdowns against Nebraska. Maryland pulled it out as well.
Yep.
It's the same play that's beating Nebraska's defense.
Yeah, the tape don't lie.
You think that modern college offenses can't get that play installed in 1 week whenever they see Nebraska in the schedule? You got to learn how to stop that.
It's a copycat league. Yeah. Everybody's going to see that and add that to their game plan.
You're going to, from Nebraska's offense point of view, you think people aren't going to see, man, we can just 3 or 4 press on the outside, make Dillon a processor and go through his reads, and eventually the rush is going to get home, or he's going to step into a rusher. It's there.
There's a lot of pressure Saturday morning at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Down at Memorial Stadium. That team will be under a lot of pressure to perform. Fans will be on their edge of their seats, being really like I always say this, but like if there's any game to get off to the best start you've ever gotten off to, it's got to be Saturday at 11 o'clock.
Well, because you fear it turns into UCLA last year, which is UCLA.
You're going to have the noise. You're going to have people walking. Yeah. I mean, it could be. I don't want to call it could turn toxic, but it could be borderline.
Well, because the juice was left out of the building last year against UCLA.
Oh,
they went on a couple long drives in the first half. Felt like they controlled the ball the whole first half. Every single third and short they were picking up. It's a different style of offense from Northwestern, but if they can kind of follow that script, which is, hey, we're just going to hold the football here, long drives, pick up our third downs, take time off the clock, limit Nebraska's chances offensively. Well, you're going to be sitting there at Memorial Stadium, sitting on your hands, going, "This sucks. This is no fun at all. I should be sitting on my couch right now."
Second guessing yourself for sure. Boy, all right, more to come.
And that's something else Nebraska would have to overcome. They couldn't overcome it last year against UCLA, that lack of juice in the stadium.
No. Boy, man, I'm nervous now. More to come as we continue marching our way to Saturday at 11 o'clock with Nebraska Northwest. We'll talk more about that, but we're going to take a break and come back and talk a little college basketball. This is so interesting. I think we have some audio. Coach Izzo spoke yesterday. I did not know this was possible. And this is what's messed up with college athletics as a whole. Let's talk about that when we return.
You guys talk at all about NBA on NBC?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm sure T will have some takes on it. That was kind of it was a bit of a nostalgia bomb last night. Not that I was alive last time NBA was on NBC, but they still somehow brought the nostalgia.
I saw a highlight of an almost Chris Webber moment. I know that. That wasn't called. Oh, we'll talk. That's interesting.
I saw that.
KD, how many times you try to call timeout? But none.
Like 3 or 4.
If you read the chat, we've been talking about our home life and managers at home. If you see that you're the only available free agent on the hookup ladies comment, you're like, what are we? I brought up the fact that
the hair stuck in my foot.
Oh yeah. I brought up the fact that I had to do contact management at my house to put a ticket in. Did the Heat? No color.
To be fair, I turned on the heat last night.
So you're your own man.
I didn't want to do it, but going to bed, it was 60 in my house, and I went.
See, I woke up 2 mornings ago. It was 61. I'm like, something's got to change.
It was 60 in my house going to bed last night. I'm like, but it's gonna be 51 in the morning. I'm like, I can't handle that. I can't handle.
So there's a lot of conversations about managers. Ryan 840 put in the relationship status. New relationship, single A manager, 1 to 2 month relationship, double A, 1 year AAA manager for the bigs. And man, like he lined it out for us.
Reminds me, I was supposed to shut off the heat before I came here. I forgot to do it. I'll shut off when I get home.
That's the kind of check we need, Jason. Jason said Indiana just got a blank check from Mark Cuban 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. We need one of those checks. Troy, here's a good example of management. Kids wanted to see the meteor show. It was one last night. And I was going to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning to drive out to the country to try to see something. So at 3:15 in the morning, I noticed that there was a lot of wildlife out at the time and didn't see any meteor shower.
That sucks. One of my favorite memories from growing up was my dad waking me up like 3 a.m. for one of the big meteor showers and driving out to the country and watching that.
I'm scared about what my kids might come out of their mouth. Thanks, Coach V. Look at this hat. I told YZ that when you and I sit in here, this will be the coldest room in the entire building. There's days I walk in here and it's like 32 degrees in this room. Welcome back to the morning hookup. Thanks for hanging out with us on a hump day. Somebody debated me yesterday on a text. I made chili 2 nights ago. They're like, it's not time for chili yet. I'm like, I don't know what your temperature is, but it is always time for chili. Yeah. But it like debated me. It's like, it's not time. It's not cold enough yet. Different temperatures, man.
Mike was muted. I don't know if there's an optimal time for chili, but also
don't tell me when it's time for my own food.
Right now is also a great time for chili.
Yeah. Soups.
Oh, yeah.
Zoop soups.
I made biscuits and gravy last night.
Oh, God, I did.
I was sitting heavy.
Of course, you had your hat on and you're making homemade biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Row.
That was sitting heavy at bowling league last night. I'll tell you that much, though.
Oh, yeah, we're back in That's what time of the year it is. It's biscuits and gravy and comfort food and bowling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I don't think that led to the best performance last night from the bowling team.
Oh, boy, that's all right.
Hey, I was the one that ate biscuits and gravy, and I wasn't the only problem last night in bowling. It's a 2-man team, but neither of us were good. It was kind of like Nebraska against Indiana last year, where you come out there, you're like, this, we got an opponent in front of us that we can beat. And then you say, well, not when they're playing like that, though. Man, we got our tails whipped last night at bowling league. But I'm going to blame the biscuits and gravy. It's never my fault.
Never your fault.
Even though I'm the one that made the biscuits and gravy.
Never. Tell you about some of this people's fault. NCAA is a disaster. Did you know on Monday? This is crazy. So I know we'll probably talk this a little bit long, but on Monday, this is on ESPN. Coach Izzo spoke, and I love Izzo, man. He's a good dude, great coach. There was a former 4-star recruit who averaged 7.6 points over 3 seasons in the G League, and another guard that announced his commitment. They both, after a couple years in the G League, committed to D1 universities. One to Louisville, one to Santa Clara. That's crazy, right? From an eligibility standpoint, from being paid. Per the manual, any athlete who has been compensated as a professional beyond actual necessary expenses, a category that includes health insurance, meals, lodging, and transportation, cannot play college basketball. But the NCAA has bent rules recently for multiple international prospects who participated in professional leagues overseas. What is wrong with this? It's murky because NIL, it's murky because of reps, it's murky because of being paid. Izzo's take is so spot on.
Well, you have a guy that for 2 years has not. I know the student part of student athlete has sort of gone away from college sports recently, but it's still not your full-time job to go and be an athlete. You have a guy that his full-time job has been being an athlete, being a basketball player in the G League.
He's like, well, that's not working out. Go to college.
It's ridiculous to me.
Izzo says someone's going to say, well, if they go pro and it doesn't work out, then they should be able to come back. Right now, college basketball, no rules. He said, I love my job, but I don't respect my profession. How about that?
Do we have the comment?
Yeah, he's got 4 minutes of it. I mean, we can come back and play snippets of it if you want to. I mean, if you have some now.
I don't have anything cut.
All right, let's do this. We'll keep talking about it, but I want to play some of his stuff too, because it is so interesting, because he really goes in on, like, he's like, I'm going to get fined, whatever, about what's the age cap? Like, are you saying like, well, he's got a big mustache, whatever, it's all this crazy stuff. Like, where does this stop? I didn't know that existed, that you could go play G League and come back.
It's ridiculous that it does exist. You have gone and played professional. You've foregone college to go and play professional basketball in the G League. And you come back? It's one thing if you come back to play college football. Like, I understand the guys who go play minor league baseball and then come back to play college football. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that, because you haven't been a professional football player for the last couple of years. But to go and play professional basketball and to be a professional athlete and then to come back to college and say, well, the whole pro thing didn't work out here. I enjoyed being a full-time athlete for the last 2 years. I find myself well prepared. Let's go be a college junior now.
And is it just like a loophole because he's an international player? So because I'm confused. I don't know how do you get to the G League before you get to college? That's where I'm lost.
Well, because they have the thing now where guys can forego, because you have to play 1 year, as the rules say, of college basketball where you get drafted. They made the loophole where you can go play G League for a year as opposed to college basketball and then get drafted.
Yep.
And I think that's the heart of this issue here is G League is also still sort of counting as college. So he went and played 2 years in the G League, and now he's lost 2 years of college eligibility. So they're essentially treating the G League like college basketball eligibility, which makes no sense
at all.
We'll play some of this stuff, but I loved his facetiousness within this. Did you what he said the silver lining was? He was joking. He said he might just call Magic Johnson and Jaren Jackson Jr. and other ones a bad success that didn't finish their eligibility to come back.
Well, imagine if in college baseball, Nebraska could go recruit guys that played 2 years of minor league baseball to come play. Oh, hey, it's not looking great for you. I'm not sure you're going to get another contract. How about you come down and play 2 years of college baseball and then go back into the draft? What? Everyone would be up in arms. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
The grind of a professional athlete is so much different than a college athlete, and the experience that you get. Like, when it is your full-time job, you have a different level of commitment and preparation that you can do as whenever you have to go to class. Like, it changes things. It changes where your priorities lie and how much you can work on your craft.
Yeah, we'll come back. And he's got a really good quote about the NCAA and what they need to do. And quit being mad at the wrong people. But that's been a very scaredy cat organization for a long time. So we'll talk more about that. Henry T. Get his opinion on it as well from T and a whole lot more when we return.
How do you score these tickets? Easy. My Members Own credit card. I get points back for every dollar I spend. So just buying your usual stuff turns into concert tickets? Yep. All thanks to Members Own Credit Union. Groceries, gas, online shopping. It's like, ta-da! Points. Or presto, rewards. Get a credit card with a little bit of magic in every tap. Go to membersowncu.org/presto for details. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA. Connoisseur Media and Liberty First Credit Union want to help make it easy for you to give back. The first Friday of each month, look for our social post spotlighting a local nonprofit organization. Liberty First Credit Union will donate up to $500 to the featured nonprofit organization based on total shares. And you can go to KFORnow.com and tell us which nonprofit organization you'd like us to support next month. Care to share with Liberty First Credit Union and Connoisseur Media.
October is Car Care Month and time to inspect your vehicle for needed maintenance and repairs. 6 to 6 Auto Service can handle it all, from brakes and alignments to oil changes and complete engine diagnostics. You can drive with confidence. Locally owned and trusted by Lincoln drivers for over 20 years. Check out the service specials online and book your appointment at 6to6autoservice.com now. For expert automotive repair, 6to6autoservice.com. When you need it fixed, it's 6 to 6.
Big color, bigger savings. It's Sherwin-Williams' biggest super sale. Get 40% off paints and stains October 17th through the 27th with prices starting at $29.39. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. This is day 22 of the U.S. government shutdown. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers are not getting paid. Members of Congress are, even as calls for discussions on reopening things go nowhere. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more from Capitol Hill.
What we heard from Democratic leaders yesterday is that they demanded a White House meeting with President Trump to try to negotiate this. And President Trump came out later before cameras and said that he would be happy to meet with them, but only after the government reopened, essentially saying he would meet with Democrats, but only after they caved. And so neither side has really moved from that position.
The National Trust for Historic Preservation is calling on the Trump administration to press pause on the demolition of the White House East Wing. until the construction plans on that new ballroom can go through the legally required public review process. Here's ABC's Mary Bruce.
The president once promised that his ballroom would not interfere with the current structure of the White House, but that is clearly not the case. We have seen bulldozers raising the East Wing. This photo from the Washington Post that they shared showing that nearly all of it has been demolished.
The president says his 90,000 square foot, $250 million ballroom is being paid for with donations. The president said to be demanding $230 million from the Justice Department to pay for the special counsel investigations following his first term. One into alleged Russian interference in the 2016 election, the other into the handling of classified documents. ABC's Rachel Scott at the White House.
We asked the Justice Department whether it would be a conflict of interest to have those top DOJ officials who once served as the president's own former personal attorneys sign off on a settlement like this. In a statement, they told us they will continue to follow the guidance of career ethics professionals. They declined to comment any further.
Vice President J.D. Vance in Israel for a meeting on the Gaza ceasefire with the Israeli Prime Minister. You're listening to ABC News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-549-8866. 800-549-8866. 800-549-8866.
Reaction from state officials to the Trump administration considering beef purchases to help lower prices. Good morning. I'm Jeff Modes, 49 degrees at KFOR. U.S. Republican Senator Deb Fischer said the move would do more harm than good, adding, quote, if the goal is addressing beef prices at the grocery store, this is not the way. Right now, government intervention in the beef market will hurt our cattle ranchers, end quote. Nebraska Farm Bureau President Mark McGarg said in a statement that the Farm Bureau is, quote, very aware of this situation, has been in contact with the administration, quote, aside from the state's congressional delegation. McGarg also says, quote, the trade agreements cannot turn into a one-sided arrangements that provide unfair access to the U.S. market. Nebraska is the beef state, and the success of Nebraska's beef industry, Nebraska's largest single economic driver, impacts all Nebraskans, end quote. A preview of key issues coming up for the 2026 Nebraska legislative session will happen during a meeting today at the Country Club of Lincoln. Senators from the Lincoln area and other state leaders will discuss important issues to business in Lincoln and Nebraska. Lincoln Chamber of Commerce President Jason Ball told Lincoln's Morning News on KFOR Tuesday, this meeting helps to allow the state delegation from the Lincoln area to get topics on the map for everyone.
This year, I don't think there's a whole lot of suspense that the primary issue during the short session will be the state budget, right? We've had a lot of dialogue about what tax policy ought to be in the state.
Ball also says he's curious to see what kind of proposals could come from Governor Pillen's task force for public school finance. And with temperatures dipping close to the freezing mark here for later on tonight, Lincoln Water System is reminding you again to take steps now to protect plumbing in your home and avoid costly damage or high water bills. Also, it's another good idea to remove garden hoses from outside faucets. You can read more at KFORnow.com. Sunshine today and a high of 66. Right now, 49 degrees in Lincoln. I'm Jeff Modes, KFOR News.
Hi, this is Jason Ball, president of the Lincoln Partnership for Economic Development. In partnership with Lincoln Littles, LPED is excited to announce the launch of the Lincoln Family Friendly Workplace Certification. This new initiative recognizes the businesses who are investing in working parents through initiatives like childcare assistance, paid parental leave, and flexible schedules. By applying for the Family Friendly Workplace Certification program, employers are demonstrating their commitment to prioritizing family well-being and early childhood support. This positions local businesses to attract new talent, reduce turnover, and build a more resilient workforce. To earn certification, businesses complete a free 15-minute self-assessment on LPED's website at selectlincoln.org. Once certified, businesses will be included on a public map for job seekers and recognized at Lincoln Chamber of Commerce and LPED events. To apply, just visit selectlincoln.org or contact LPED's Director of Development, Allison Hack.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Welcome back in the Morning Hookup, hour number 2. Thanks for hanging out with us. A few moments away from Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan. I don't know. That's on the app. You know anything about that? There's a coach, not coach. Troy Dannon talked yesterday about like bigger events coming. They talked about Savannah Bananas and things like that. And they have over 100,000 ticket requests so far for that. But then I get this is real, right?
First, I'm seeing it. But let me
hit this Husker app. You want to take a peek before we say anything? Because I'm confused.
Yeah, 3 minutes ago, confirmed. Huskers.com.
Okay, can you tell what's going on here? There's a concert announcement. I feel like I'm on 96 Kicks or KFRX. Concert announcement, August 22nd.
Well, and I feel like the bands that are not like the top ones are the ones that are a little more. So we got a concert coming to Memorial Stadium. The headline acts. YZ, and this just got announced. You can check Huskers.com. It's the Boys from Oklahoma.
Who are they?
The headliners. Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Who are they?
Who?
And Turnpike Troubadours.
Can you?
I know Turnpike Troubadours.
I do not.
Cross Canadian Ragweed is a headliner, and then special guests include Cody Jinks, Flatland Cavalry, and more. I know Cody Jinks and Flatland Cavalry. You don't?
No,
you're not a country guy.
I'm lost.
I'm not much of a country guy either, to be fair.
That one doesn't move the needle.
I've never in my life heard of Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Help us out. Help us out. We're all confused.
Is it an old band? I have no idea. Turnpike Troubadours I'm familiar with, but Cross Canadian Ragweed. Anyway, concert coming to Memorial Stadium. That's next August. Saturday, August 22nd at Memorial Stadium. Tickets go on sale. Looks like next week.
Jump right at it, folks. I mean, it might fit some people's fancy.
And this will be the week before Nebraska kicks off. Is this 2 weeks before? Let's check.
What's their first? Yeah,
because they got Ohio first next year. I believe this will be the Saturday before. It will not. It'll be a Tuesday night.
Are you?
No, it will be a Saturday night. I was looking at September.
I was like, wait a minute. You're talking about missing the mark completely. Do it a Tuesday night in August.
No, it's the Saturday before Nebraska plays
right,
Ohio
there
at
you
Memorial
go.
Stadium.
There you go.
Pre-sale begins October 29th. Tickets go on sale to the general public October 31st.
There you go. You're welcome. Breaking concert announcement.
Who the hell is Cross Canadian Ragweed?
We'll need you guys' help, please. Let us know.
Okay, but Cody Jinks and Flatland Cavalry, cool. Oh, fine.
Again, Henry T. Buchanan coming up in stories that we missed and a lot of stuff. There's still a lot to come. But I want to go back to this Izzo conversation. We had some audio now, just a little bit with him, and this is just I don't know what to call it. Like it's an issue within college athletics that is happening. And Izzo's take on it, I like Izzo. I like what he stands for. He's that old school guy still trying to navigate these waters. But the NCAA has to do something. And they've historically have done what? Absolutely nothing. And it's time for us to quit being mad at the wrong people.
I couldn't cut everything up just
I'm sorry.
because I would have had to mute the ads during the break, but I could play the audio. So
Okay.
Here we go.
Then do it.
pretty much get his point off of that.
I think a lot of this, and then there's he does such a great job in speaking on. I don't know on behalf of what's going on, but it's time. What he, paraphrase what he says about the NCAA. It's time to quit blaming the kids. He's not gonna be mad at the kids at all. Don't blame the kids. Blame the adults in the room. This is what's been allowed, and our kids are able to take advantage of what's being allowed in this country, in sports, in whatever walk of life you're talking about. Blame the adults in the room. It's time to stop blaming the kids.
Agreed 100%.
It's interesting. It is. It's crazy. And again, there's other stuff in there, and it's hard because we've got a society now, especially in college sports, where these kids have teams around them. And he says in there, it's time for us to maybe help them make better decisions. How many bad decisions have you looked at or seen transpire with kids leaving early, chasing something that never gets them to where they want to go? It's all about the adults in the room. Boy, that's crazy. That hits home for a lot of different ways. And what's messed up about, I don't know, just our society and college sports. Whew. It's wild.
And he's right about, like, if you recruit somebody and they, after 1 or 2 years of playing college, they go to the NBA, and then it's like, okay, they join the NBA and they don't have success. Can they go back to college now?
What's the rule? 30?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Greg. They said they didn't hear that. Well, you know what? We'll send that out. We can send some stuff out. You can take a peek at what Izzo had to say about this whole thing that's transpired about 2 G League players who have used the system correctly. One played 3 years in the G League, is now a D1 commit to Louisville this coming year. He'll be playing the ACC after being 3 years in the G League and being paid whatever he got paid, but he's able to go back and do that. You guys are awesome.
We have some thoughts in the stream here. I've been doing some research on cross-Canadian ragweed.
Well, Ryan said I quit the ragweed back in high school.
So that they were a popular band late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
That disbanded and then reformed recently. It's only played a couple of shows. So that's what's kind of special about them is they've only played in a couple of shows since they reformed. So this might be one that some people that are some older school, I guess they're apparently like the country and kind of rock inspired and might be interesting for those folks because they are like an early 2000s group that went away and has come back.
Troy said his allergies are too bad to go see anything like that.
I'll listen to some cross Canadian ragweed a little later today and see if I'll be buying tickets or not. We'll see.
There'll be plenty available. All right, let's. Sorry, that was bad. I apologize. They're probably really good.
Well, the thing
give them what they are. I'm making fun of it because I think Troy Dannon talked about bigger events coming, and then that's the first one you get.
And there's a subset of people out there that this is going to be a really, really big concert for because of how long they were gone for, like apparently 14 years.
Yeah.
They didn't do any shows and they've only done a couple since. So it'll be a big show for some people. I'm not sure if you ask your average person out there. Well, if you ask the folks down at Kicks if they know who Cross Canadian Ragweed is, because this is new to me. But I will listen. I will educate myself. And I'll get back to you tomorrow.
That's what we do. Speaking of that, let's take a break. When we come back and we'll get educated. Henry T will educate you on how far Nebraska goes in the tournament after watching them beat BYU. That and a whole lot more when we return. I wonder if T's got eligibility. Think Coach could call Fred? Think Fred could call him?
Well, you go. You see what MJ said last night, where he wishes there was a magic pill he could take that would let him get back in the basketball court. Play like
he's built different. You listen to him talk; he's still got it. You talk that one thing about like when he doesn't even have a basketball hoop around like his houses or stuff, but he rented this house
for a Ryder Cup
for the Ryder Cup, and he said. They was doing a meet and greet. Yeah, he's like, I already paid for the house, but he was doing this meet and greet, and they were like, hey, this needs you to, like, can you shoot one free throw? He said he couldn't remember the last time he was that nervous. And he made a great point. Like, these kids are there, and like they just know Jordan from the stories from 30 years ago, the expectation from 30 years ago. Did you make the shot? He said, he goes, yep.
Switched it. And that, I think, kind of speaks to Jordan and who he was a little bit. And this one of the things that gets kind of lost in there is that Jordan always played and always performed because there were kids out there. And I think this is a Kobe quote, but it applies to Jordan as well. There are kids out there. This is the one chance in their life to go see Jordan. They've bought tickets. They've traveled across the country to go see a Chicago Bulls game, or for Kobe and a Los Angeles Lakers game. It's their chance to go see their favorite athlete. And he doesn't want to let them down. And even after his playing career is over, the kids that have only heard stories of how great he was, he doesn't want to let them down. They're sitting around watching and being like, oh, Michael Jordan's about to shoot a free throw.
The story I met Jordan, he missed a free throw. It's a lot like when we had to tell stories about Henry T. Buchanan. Not a lot of people know about it. Was so long ago.
Hey man, I'm trying to find a spot, man, because I'm at work today. My reception's not good.
Oh,
can y'all hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
They actually made you show up to work today, T, huh?
It's like I'm gonna have to talk to you all. I left my I'm doing this on the phone, but I'll
should we have him call in maybe?
Let's see.
Yeah, the reception. If you can hear us, T, the reception's not great. You sound like a robot coming through.
You're
which
froze.
Is not great.
What?
I think he said, "Let me find somewhere else."
I got his number. I could just call him.
If we get to the start of this segment, he looks a little better in the hallway. Maybe not.
Had to go down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep him on mute for now.
Yeah,
maybe
let's just stable.
Is this better? This better?
Welcome back in the morning hookup. You hear the music that time? No, he's not a robot. He is real. It is the Mac, the legend, Henry T. Buchanan. T, what's up?
What's up, fellas? What's up, Bill? What's up, Elijah? What's up, YZ? Hey, I'm in work. I'm in a conference room, and pretty big conference room. I couldn't find anywhere where I'm getting good connectivity. I told you earlier I left my iPad at home, man, rushing to get here at 4:30 in the morning.
Ooh, I tell you, the way you were looking around is like you were somewhere you ain't supposed to be.
No, I was just trying to find some connectivity, and it wouldn't work for me for some reason. That's my bad, because I was in a rush this morning. I never leave that iPad on a Wednesday when I have to be at work. This will be the first time.
That's all right. We got you here, and we're excited to have you. Well, let's look back. We played an exhibition. Okay, we played an exhibition.
Husker football looked like they were playing an exhibition.
Yeah, Husker. Yeah,
night, but we're talking Husker basketball.
Let's just ignore that topic. Let's stick to basketball for now.
Well, here's the deal. Give me some thoughts. I want to start. I mean, there's so many. Like again, it was an exhibition. BYU first half. Blah blah blah. They did not play their point guard in the second. They took Debanza out. By the way, he looks the real deal. He's real. He's different than others. But let's start with pace of play. Let's start with what I thought Nebraska, you're getting a peek at what they want to do. And I thought Jamarcus Lawrence, of anything he did, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, led the team in rebounds. But talking about him controlling the pace of the offense, I thought he controlled the pace. He controlled everything about the way Fred wants to run that thing.
Oh, absolutely. He just what the doctor ordered for this year, and something that we lacked last year, from that position, that he was coming into his own when he decided to move on to Rhode Island. But I know he's excited about being back and representing Ty Lue's and my number 10. I got to throw that in there. And no, he played well. And what was so spectacular about that performance is that from a turnover perspective, he had 1 turnover, so a 9-to-1 ratio. And people don't look at that. And for a total for a team, both teams took care of the ball. Both teams had 10 turnovers. So when you look at that, and then when you look at the minutes, their starters, AJ played 31 minutes. And their leading scorer from last year who is it? Saunders. He played 29 minutes. He had another player played 27 minutes. We have 4 players that played in the 20s, and Jamarcus played the most with 32 minutes. So when you look at that, and the key to, we had 24 assists on how many attempts. It looks
30,
like
I think 24 assists on 32 makes. They make 32 or something like
yeah.
that.
Think about that. And fellas, I hope y'all got a glimpse of the ability for Nebraska to shoot the ball. And we have so many shooters that it's going to be a rarity. And, just looking at that roster and with the experience and the guys who's played at this level before, somebody's going to be hot. Connor, Price, well, I know we haven't mentioned Rink Mass yet, but, that speaks for itself, 7 for 8 from the 3-point line. And Garcia came off the bench and drained the 3. I think, matter of fact, Blue hit one, and we know Sam can shoot it when need to be. He's hit some clutch shots from there. So looking at our roster and looking at what we're bringing with the size, I thought Frager came in and done what he was supposed to do. He missed a couple, good looks, but man, he just, he does the things that's not in the stat book, the hustle, and guarding some of the tough guards. And listen, AJ's a pro. I mean, I hope y'all saw a glimpse of that.
Listen,
how easy he made it look.
He's different from anybody on the floor on Saturday. There's just no
Yeah.
way.
Although himself and the coach for BYU said that Matt would be the first pick, which I know they were saying that in just, but man, if he did anything in that game, because you had 12 NBA scouts there, from my understanding, and they were there to watch AJ. How could you ignore what Rink Mass did? The strength and at top of the key. And what he's going to do is he's going to open it up so much for offensive rebounding with our size and length, that when he's bringing the big man out there, and that's why they had to put their center back on the bench this.
T, you froze up. Come back, T.
There
it is.
We're still there?
Yep, you are now. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, Rink is going to be a nightmare for centers in the Big Ten. Speaking of the Big Ten, heck, we got 6 teams in the top 25, 2 in the top 10, with Purdue number 1. I didn't see that coming. I know we got the point guard, and we had that kid last year that in the block that played tough, but I didn't see a number 1 rank in preseason. So I'm pretty excited about that. And, Michigan, I didn't know who they recruited, because I know they lost a lot last year. So they must have had a really nice recruiting class. And UCLA, we beat last year, is number 12. Illinois is in there. We should have beat Michigan State, of course, and Wisconsin. But man, did you hear Izzo's comments?
Oh yeah, I want to ask you about that coming up. That's
okay. Go ahead. I know I'm talking about. I'm just pretty excited about this, about what what the fans got the opportunity to see that I saw in practice. We got length and we got shooting, and they pushed the ball. You talk about pace. I mean, Jamarcus is a prototype point guard for this type of offense, push, because we want to push on all makes and misses, and he gets the ball up the court and he gets it up fast. And and what Coach Nee and Bargan always taught us is, you can pass the ball a lot faster than you can run. And that ball was whipping. And when you see that and only have 10 turnovers, man, that was huge for our offense and our gimmick defenses that we were playing. Yes, that freshman, I mean, he's a $7 million man for a reason, and probably the number 1 pick coming out this year if he stays healthy. So it was fun to watch that kid play as well.
I want to ask the question here. I think Nebraska shot 47% from 3 in that basketball game. Really impressive. You talked about the performance from Rink. Asijan had a good night from behind the arc. I mean, you look at, there's more shooters on that roster. Sanford didn't have the best night. Lawrence didn't have the best night shooting the 3 ball. Like, there's potential for Nebraska to get more 3-point shooting. What is a reasonable goal for this team in terms of percentage for the year shooting from behind the 3-point line?
If we shoot in the mid to upper 30s, that would be, and I think we got the potential to do that, to shoot that on a consistent basis, because I'm telling you guys, you're not going to stop a team full of 3-point shooters. Somebody's going to have a night. Whether it's Price, whether it's Rink, like Rink did, and Connor. Connor started off, y'all know he missed his first, and all of a sudden he caught fire. Price couldn't throw it in the ocean standing on the beach, and then he finally, hit a couple, and I know Jamarcus, his shot, but he was so busy running the offense, and that took away from some of his ability to look for his shot. But he wants to take it when it's there. So I thought his decision making was very, very good throughout the game, and his defensive tenacity. I just like the way they just played on both ends. And I just think that's going to be our bread and butter is the perimeter shooting. And I think we have it in all positions, and we are going to be a tough guard for a lot of those teams, especially those rugged rebounding type teams, man. They got to go on the perimeter and guard us. If not, we're going to blow them out.
Hooks brought up a good point yesterday with Robin Washut. Do you think that pace with how fast the releases are for Sanford and Esigian, do you think
they're crazy quick?
Oh gosh.
Do you think the pace that Nebraska plays with kind of gets them more in rhythm with getting their shots off?
Oh, absolutely. Because what people don't realize, and it's kind of similar to what Coach Nee did with us, is that when your pace is moving like that, it rarely gives the defense the chance to set up. And that's what's happening. They're backpedaling. They're trying to find their men, and we're pushing it down their throat. And we're looking for open shots, and we're looking for the three. In my era, we were trying to get a layup. But we're still fast breaking. But now they're fast breaking for open threes, and we have so many shooters that it keeps the defense off balance, and that's what's going to happen all year. And teams are going to have to figure out how to guard us, and they better be in shape because our guys are in phenomenal shape, and that's a reason, because they are going to run. And last thing you want to do is get too tired, and your legs get too tired, and you can't shoot it, because shooting comes from your legs, not your arms. People don't realize that. Your shooting comes from your legs, especially from the 3-point line. And the better condition you are, the better you're going to shoot it. And we have a lot of shooters, and we're going to continue pushing that pace and looking for those open guys, especially the secondary fast break. Think about that. Pushing it, you don't have it, and you got Rink coming up the back. Just flip it to him on top of the key to drain it while he's open. I mean, that offense is lethal.
T, talk me through the thoughts of a shooter. Give me the mental side of a shooter in that pace. Things like what you were thinking as you were running the floor, trying to get to a spot, trying to come off the screen. Put us in that mindset, because you watch those guys. Look, I watched Price. By the way, I loved when they had Price and Connor in together.
Yes.
And they flanked out. And
yes.
The defense was like, which one of y'all going to hit me? Right. So, but give me the thoughts as those two guys and you used to run down the floor. What were you thinking, and how do you get to your spot?
Well, number one, it's going to be Jamarcus' responsibility to know where their spots are, and when to give them the ball. So that's first and foremost. Connor and Price and any other shooters, and we already know where Rink anywhere on the top, he can shoot it. It's going to be important for them to find them within timing and not waiting, because they are going to their spots. And what's a good thing about Price and Connor, it's not a spot. They can shoot from all over the perimeter. So it's just, they're going to the open spot. And when you're running down looking for your spot, which could be anywhere, you're looking for the defense. You're going to run away from the defense, and the range that both of those guys have. It's going to be difficult for the defense to recover, because they'll spend more time looking for their man and getting out of position. And if they're going to be focused on 3-point shooting, then it's going to be a layup drill. So, with their ability to shoot the ball anywhere on the court, it's going to make Jamarcus' job a lot easier. And what's going to happen is, as soon as they open, he's going to have to get them the ball, whether it's him or whoever's bringing the ball up, because technically anybody can bring the ball up in that offense, but Jamarcus just makes the better decisions, get it up there a little bit faster, and finding Connor and Price and other shooters when they're open. And yes, and I don't know who has the quickest release between those two. I mean, when they shoot it, they get it up in a hurry. And but I love watching it. And I was watching the game by myself, and then I was sitting at the edge of my couch, just like, get him. I mean, because I'm seeing them open as they're running, and I'm watching Price, and I'm watching Connor, and I'm watching and I'm watching Mass coming up behind, and I'm thinking to myself, if I was in that offense, what would I be doing? It's like who I'm going to find, first, and then I always got that relief valve with Matt coming up from behind, just flip it to him and get out of the way, drain it, and get back and play defense. And if you thought about it, man, we picked up full court a few times. And so we're not backing off, thinking that we're not athletic enough to guard. If we're picking up full court, they're doing that in practice. And this coaching staff Nate has enough confidence in these guys that they can guard the perimeter. So we're going to be a problem on the defensive side as well. But I know this is an exhibition game, and I know it didn't count. But when you beat the number 8 team in the country with the number 1 recruit in the country, the potential number 1 draft pick, and a team who went to the Sweet 16 last year with a lot of those players, a leading scorer back, with the coaching staff intact and things of that sort, I consider that as a great measuring stick for what's to come. And we're only going to get better. Both teams played 11 guys. And we're going to continue seeing that. And 2 guys we didn't even see play, which is Quentin Rhymes and the big kid, I can't think of his name, from Central Michigan.
Oogie. He's back. They got pictures of him back on the floor practice.
Yeah. And he's similar to Mass. He can shoot the perimeter, but he's tougher on the block, even though Mass is tough too. But this guy's rugged. So wait till you see this guy. And it's a little bit different than what we had last year, because I remember watching the tape of our big guy from Washington and how nasty he was. And then, we didn't see a lot of that during the season last year, but with this guy, he's skilled, and it's another weapon that we're going to have. 2 more weapons that we do have. So we got a potential 13 guys that we can play, that we'll see play during this pre-conference games. And then the interesting part is going to be when they go to reduce it to the rotation 7 to 8 players, and that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, one of the things, and one of the questions that I have is with the basketball team. Like, whenever things aren't going your way, you're on a bit of a mini scoring drought, the opponent's making a run in the second half, and you go and need a bucket. You need a guy that can go and be a bucket getter for you. Bryce Williams was that guy for Nebraska. I think a couple years ago, you can look at Casey with his ability to go shoot the basketball. Hey, we need one. Get it to Casey and see if he can get some momentum going with it with a deep 3. Does Nebraska have that guy this year? Do they need to have a guy like that this year that can turn and be your playmaker whenever you need to go and get a bucket?
Well, I think Coach Hoiberg, what he did last year, he knew he had a Bryce Williams that could create shots and get a bucket for us. But I think with the offense that he'll run this year, we don't have that Bryce Williams, the go-to guy to get us that bucket. So it's going to be collectively. He's going to have sets. If you think about it, we run an NBA set. And not every NBA team have that one go-to person that can get that bucket. It's almost like the triangle. Where it's a lot of movement, and the first person who gets the shot take it. And I think it's going to be something similar to that. Would it be nice to have a Bryce Williams that can hit, to bring you back or hit that clutch shot at the end? But we got so many shooters, and the way Coach Hoiberg runs his offenses, and he really exploits the defense. And I think that's going to be a problem. And he's a basketball offensive genius. So I think we'd be okay without the go-to person. I think, look what we did against BYU, even though it was exhibition, we held on to that 1-point lead. And when they made that big run on us, and we were able to still, win that game, which was great. Whether we win or lose, I still like the performance, but we did win. But that was indicative of what type of offense that he runs, that we can get buckets when we need it. And we're going to be a problem because we got big men that can post up. We got the outside shooting, and I just think based on what offense and who's filling it at that point, pick and rolls and getting folks open for that perimeter shot, and our 3-point shooting just as good as a layup.
It's Henry T. Buchanan with us on the morning hookup. And T, one thing I did yesterday was play a little bit of devil's advocate. We're talking about all the positives here. Were there any things that, were cause for concern? I mean, for me personally, Maybe a little bit of rebounding. You slightly lost the rebounding battle, but then again, you were missing Oogie, who will be a big part of that. You did let up around 90 points, but BYU is going to score 90 points against a lot of teams this year. Was there anything for you that, maybe cause for concern for the rest of the season?
Well, I mentioned defense this year. I mean, in this game that, we picked up full court or what have you, but what was we can't continue having is the free throw shooting. I think we shot 10 for 18 and they went 21 for 24 for the game. So fouling on the defensive side, even though we pick up a lot of those, we pick up full court or what have you, but I don't mind a foul that prevent a layup or things of that sort, but we got to control and not putting those guys. I think BYU is in the bonus pretty quick in the second half. Yeah. So we got to avoid that. I'm worried about that. And then rebounding is always going to be a concern, but they need to worry about our offensive rebounding, because those big guys are going to be on the perimeter. It's going to give our big guards the chance to, the Blues of the world, and Jamarcus is a pretty good athlete himself. And how many times you see Sam going in there keeping the ball alive offensively and things of that sort. So with the big guys away from the bucket, it's going to be a problem. And rebounding has been an issue for us the last few years. So, and I think they're, even though we do have the size, I saw them practice that when I was in town, the boxing out drill, going for the ball. And I remember Coach Nee and Coach Bargan when we used to do our drills. And if the ball hit the ground when you're boxing up, you did your job. And let a guard come in there and sneak in there and get the ball and run the show. So I agree with you, YZ. Rebounding is always going to be a concern for any team. But at the same token, I think offensively, we are going to be so potent that we're going to get offensive rebounds, and we're going to rebound as well. And we got the size rebound. And I think Burke, we don't give him enough credit. He's for his size and his agility, man, he gets to the boards for us. And as long as he stay healthy, stay out of foul trouble. And Garcia, I didn't see enough of him. I think he only played, look, I got the stats here. He played 7, almost 8 minutes. And, and I know he's on a pitch count, what have you. He's still not 100%, but we saw glimpses of him. And I think he's our junkyard dog. He's our Gary from last year, so we got that. We don't have a Bryce Williams, but we do have a Gary based upon if he's healthy throughout the year. So fellas, like I said, you can't get too excited off of one game. But I think you all had an opportunity to see what they're capable of, and what they're capable of with a highly ranked team. And being 8th in this country during this era is huge, and getting the number 1 recruit in the country is huge. So I think we showed well, and I think Mass said it best. He said we can compete with anybody in the country, and I believe that.
Henry T. Buchanan with us here on the Morning Hookup, talking some Husker basketball. And T, before we get you out of here, I do need to ask about the NBA on NBC. It returned last night. They hit you right in the nostalgia. You heard the round ball rock. You saw the interview with Jordan. All I'll say is the game just feels bigger when it's on NBC compared to the last couple of years on TNT. I want to get your reaction to kind of seeing the NBA on NBC.
I was pretty excited last year because I was pretty excited about the games last night, because I wanted to see KD playing with that team in the tallest lineup in the history of NBA. That was nice to see, even though OKC got him by some free throws at the end. And, of course, LeBron didn't play, for whatever reason. I know y'all LeBron fans, but anyway, I think Draymond Green stated that he was sitting over here looking like Phil Jackson, not playing. Yeah. So anyway, and then I did hear Jordan's comments. He said he wished he had some magical pill or somewhere. He's already getting the jitters, wanting to play and wish he could play, and so that's what it's all about. But more key to that is that before we get out is that G League. Yeah. How in the world a person can play in the G League for 3 years and then go play for Louisville?
I was going to ask if Fred was going to call you, because that nowadays, like, even JUCO years don't even count. So you might have a year.
Well, I already told Coach I got 2 years. If he wants me to get in shape, I'll come back and get in there for 5 minutes and shoot for him. But JUCO is one thing, but G League, you're playing against NBA players. But my only pushback is that these European kids is playing professionally in the teens, and then they get to go to the college. So when you look at that, but G League, European basketball professional league, based on where you're playing, I guess it's the same concept. I still feel like it's getting out of control. When you make that decision to go pro, you're pro, and I know we're trying to make this a world type of game and not just American basketball versus European. They're trying to mesh it and combine it. I don't know if this is the right route that you get to go play at that level for 3 years and then, you can go play college now. After all that you don't learn, you don't play against men, and then all of a sudden you're playing in the collegiate ranks. I struggle with that one.
It's everything that's wrong with amateur college athletics.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think Izzo hit it on the head when he said, "Quit blaming the kids. It ain't the kids' fault. Look at the adults in the room."
Yes,
we're making these decisions. Also, I think they need these camps they got, these teams they got, they need to help them make better decisions.
Absolutely. Especially, because, and I think Jordan, he said this from day one. NBA now is recruiting on potential. Mm-hmm. Potential. Think about that. So they're getting these one and dones. They're getting these high school guys that are going to Europe, or like this kid that's going to Louisville. Instead of going to college, go play 3 years of G League and then go to college. It's still off potential. I mean, let's get back to where you played 3 to 4 years of college. Basketball, still get paid, maybe cut that a little bit, get paid, and then you're prepared for the NBA. You got men being drafted, not teenagers. That's my opinion. At least their junior year. I mean, he's one and dones, but the 3 years in the G League, that blew me away. I mean,
the problem is now we've taught society this is an instant gratification society.
Yeah,
you can't wait. I can't wait to develop. I got to go.
Is there an age? I know I was watching the Missouri game that Derek Chivas sent me the other day, and the commentators were talking about me, and they said, Henry T. Buchanan is 27 years old. He's the oldest in the conference. But I had an excuse. I had 6 years of military under my belt.
I don't know if there is an age limit.
I know. Think about that. You got the 58-year-old guy playing football in NAIA now and this year, but that's God bless him.
I mean, there's a crazy element, and that's what that is.
Yeah. So, but that mixing in professional versus college. I know Europeans do it. I mean, I know they do it, and because a lot of those guys, because remember Ricky Rubio, wasn't he 14 years old playing in the professional ranks?
Yep.
But he never played college. He went straight from Europe to the NBA, which is different. But some of these kids are playing professional, then going to these colleges with that professional experience. So, I mean, when you think of that, I mean, are we catching up to Europeans now? Because they are. Think about it. The top 5 players in NBA are either from Canada or Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, but I still disagree with it. College should be college and pros should be pros. And I like the separation, and maybe they may take a look at Europeans. If they're going straight to these European pro leagues to college, then they may need to take a look at that, the eligibility. I'm not making those decisions. But I see why the U.S. is doing that. I see why we are recruiting out of the G League. And who's Louisville's coach?
I'm drawing a blank now. I
can see his face. He came from Charleston, and then
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Drawing a blank.
He's a good
coach.
But
still, I mean,
Kelsey,
whose idea was that? I mean, how did that even come about? I haven't read the whole article, but I'm trying to figure out. Who even said that was even legal?
Somebody real smart out there understood what was going on.
But we're still in a good place. The Cornhuskers are in a good place. I'm looking forward to see women's game coming up, their exhibition game. And I know our next one, it was Midland College. And,
Monday.
It's going to be a little bit different. I know it's on Big Plus. I'll watch it. It's going to be a little different than watching them against BYU, but it still gives Coach Hoiberg a chance to see his guys against different type players until we face Oklahoma in Sioux Falls. So I'm looking forward to that. And hey, this is going to be another exciting years, guys, and for men's and women's. And I'm waiting on this volleyball matchup whenever we play Texas in the championship this year. So Cornhuskers is on the map. And check this out. You probably saw it on Facebook. Amon Green was in town, and I was picking his brain, about some of what he did in the NFL. And I, at the time, I didn't even realize until he told me he was the all-time leading rusher in the Packers history. And I was like, whoa. But hearing him talk about Brett Favre and things and how he ran the ball but you know what? He's proud to be a Husker, man. I mean, that's one thing that stuck out with me. Nebraska guys. Warfield is coming out to see me in February for his 50th birthday. And I think Amon's coming back. So we're going to have a whole group of guys out here golfing and talking trash, but go Big Red all day long.
Absolutely.
It was funny. I got in the text on last Friday night. Man, Amon Green's at Clancy's. I said, not only that, Henry T. Buchanan's there too.
Oh man,
the owner. It was funny. I walked in there and he was in the room because there's two rooms, and we have a room that we reserve every week. And in this room, there's a bar. And in the bar, they got like 3 photos of me and a signed basketball and some action photos of me. And I walked in, some guy said, "Is that you up there?" And I said, "Yeah." And I just start talking to Mon. So it was a bunch of us there, and it was a good time. Go Big Red.
Yeah, every day, all day, T. Well, man, we appreciate you so much, my friend. Take care of yourself. Can't wait to talk to you again next week.
All right, Phil. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Y'all take care.
Thanks T.
Yeah.
Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan right there. Let's take our final break, come back with stories that we missed. Oh boy.
Elijah, are you doing high school football tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. Good time to
you want to come train, yeah.
Finally come in.
Yeah.
It's you guys. No better time than the present.
And then Moat said basketball is pretty much the same process.
Yeah, that's why I'd like to get this in before the end of football season because it's good experience for
teaching moments. You guys are nice.
I gotta figure out what I'm gonna make for dinner tonight.
Uh-oh.
Got some leftover fajitas.
Ooh. Look at that. I'm glad you got tortillas. Don't throw them.
Oh my gosh. That whole story is crazy. Did you see there was like a pocket knife on the sidelines too?
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, which then was apparently planted.
Yeah.
The Kansas coach dropped it.
What is going on with people?
Oh, we actually just had a meeting with all of the employees at the restaurant the other night because just, some things that needed to be addressed.
Oh, yeah. Just got to clean up a little bit.
And one of the areas of concern was when people open the bags of tortillas, there's a little twist tie on them.
Yeah.
And that's how you should open them. But people come by and
rip them open.
Just rip them
open.
Oh,
yeah.
And then they leave them out the whole night. And then, there goes a whole bag of tortillas. And then they were talking about, they're like, those boxes of tortillas aren't cheap. Like we're talking like $30 a box. Like,
yeah. We haven't had that conversation, but we had the same situation at the restaurant where it's like, we have the big ones and they have like a tear and a sealable end to reseal it.
Yeah.
I walked in the other day and they got them ripped open in the middle. Like, what is happening?
Twist ties are the easiest concept.
Literally.
Except they always get caught missing.
That's my problem. Is I almost seen twist ties lying around in my house, and I go, I know this goes to a bag of bread somewhere.
And are you the ones that you're finding it too?
Oh, and then I go
putting it back,
and then I go into the closet, and here it's been twisted and folded over. I'm like, that's not the same.
No.
That's not the same.
No.
House meeting right now. Everybody come out of their rooms. I do that at my house.
It's crazy. My house recently, it's been just empty weekdays because I have one roommate who's working in Columbus. He lives out of a hotel room Monday through Thursday, working in Columbus. And then the other one has been going camping for long stretches during the week. He's currently by choice unemployed. And yeah, he just gets out of the house on Monday morning and goes and camps until Friday.
What is happening?
Yeah, so it's just my house is just freaking empty. So there's only one candidate for who's leaving twist ties around. I don't need a house meeting. I know exactly who it is.
Come back.
It is the most likely candidate.
The stories we miss. The Morning Hookup.
Boy, no love lost between your head coach out in Denver and Russ Wilson.
Yeah.
What?
I have never heard Russell Wilson in my life say anything but good things about previous players and coaches, even when I'm wrong. The comment from Russell Wilson. So this is after Sean Payton in postgame had said something along the lines of, "Man, we kind of wish that they didn't play Jackson Dart until after this game. We were hoping they kept him on the bench." And Russell Wilson tweeted yesterday, "Classless but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Hashtag let's ride."
Hashtag let's ride is the best part of that entire tweet. Wow.
I will say, I didn't think what Sean Payton said was that bad. Because the Giants' own head coach, after he saw Russell Wilson throw one pass against the Eagles, was running to the medical tent. "How's Jackson Dart? Dear God, get him back in the football game." Russell's been taking a lot of shots from a lot of people through the years. And I actually am glad to see him fire back at one because he has been a sitting duck for anyone and everyone to throw pot shots at him. Hey, yeah, fight back. I didn't think anything Sean Payton said was that bad, but there's clearly some bad blood between Sean Payton and Russell Wilson with how the whole situation went down in Denver. So they each have their own respective viewpoints. They're each probably, hey, Sean Payton is a, I can't say the word that I'd like to use here on the radio, but he is a fill in the blank here. Everything you hear about him is true. I'm sure Russell Wilson hates that man. But did Sean Payton say anything egregious in the postgame presser? No, I don't think so.
No.
But it was fun. Fun from the outside looking in.
Boy, a lot of fun stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on a hump day. Tomorrow, picking more winners. Had a good week again last week. Marco D'Angelo, wagertalk.com. Talk more Huskers, Thursday night football, all the good stuff. Boy, if you can, get outside today. It's going to be a beautiful day. Enjoy yourselves. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a great hump day. We'll catch you on a Thursday.